Hi. Hello, Tina.
Hello!
Happy birthday to you.
Ah, Jan, thank you.
Look here.
Oh, those are beautiful.
You like roses?
I do. I love those. Are such beautiful colors.
And chocolates.
Oh, even better. Thank you. Come in and have some cake.
Thanks. Is Pete here?
He is indeed.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Jan.
How are you?
All right, thanks yourself.
How did you feel before this all happened? You became sick. Let me just get... my research is how many years ago did you get sick? You were 22.
I was diagnosed at 6 months.
At 6 months?
Yeah. They diagnosed me with 3 holes and a missing valve, an enlarged heart muscle, and a beat faster than normal. In my early sort of teenage years, you know, I was all right. I was coping, I was managing, I was going to school, I was in high school, I was managing. But by the time I hit standard 8, which I think is now grade 10, I think I was 16, I was really starting to battle. I deteriorated quite badly in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I started to put on weight, and I thought, I'm getting fat, I'm eating too much, so I started to diet. But in actual fact, what was happening is my heart was starting to struggle, and my body was building up fluid. They replaced my pacemaker, and I never got back to that strength and that energy that I'd had originally.
How does it feel to be so close to death? So close to death, and you don't know for how long you're going to live. How is that? I can't fathom that.
It's terrifying.
Is it terrifying?
Absolutely terrifying.
Can you remember any day in the past, 8 years ago and before 8 years ago, that you thought that you have to say goodbye to people?
Yeah, many days. Many days. In fact, 8 years ago, I had planned my very last birthday party. And I invited all my nearest and my dearest for that exact reason, to say goodbye to them.
When were you put onto the transplant list? How old were you then?
They put me on the list when I was 28.
28.
Yeah.
Why not before?
You've got to be sick enough to go on the list. You've got to lose a certain quality of life. You know, I was in bed all day, sleeping for 18 hours a day. It was then that they decided that it was time to put me on the list.
Pasiënte wat hart-longoortplantings nodig het, hulle wag so ongeveer 3 jaar om 'n geskikte skenker te kry. Dit is tegnies 'n moeilike operasie en is 'n baie moeilike operasie om bymekaar te sit. Omdat die organe nie net aanpasbaar moet wees nie, maar hulle moet albei pas. Jy het longe wat moet pas in die borsholte en jy het 'n hart wat moet pas in die perikardiale holte. So 'n baie moeilike ding om tegnies bymekaar te sit. Dit is tegnies 'n moeilike operasie en is baie moeilike operasie om na te kyk na die tyd.
You have to prepare yourself that you might die. And I made peace with that. I was, you know, before my transplant, I was ready. I was ready to go and meet God. I was ready to say goodbye. My time maybe wasn't going to come. My organs weren't going to reach me in time.
Dokter, is dit baie moeilik om organe te kry?
Jy weet, hier in Natal vergeet almal van ons. So ons sukkel maar om organe te kry vir ons harte en vir ons longoortplantings. En vir hart-longoortplantings is dit nog moeiliker. Maar jy weet, vir elke ontvanger is daar 'n skenker. So ons kry hulle. Ons het nou al 6 gedoen. En ons het dan 2 van hulle wat baie lank oorleef het. Maar touch wood, Tina het nog geen komplikasies gehad nie.
How old were you when you got your heart and lungs?
I was 30 years old.
You know, I'll never forget, Robbie Kleinlich said to me, get your mind right. He said he's seen patients that were 100% physically. They should have made it, they were fine. But because their mind wasn't right, they didn't make it. He said, on the other end of the scale, he's seen patients that weren't all right physically. They should have died. And because of the power of their mind, they've made it through and they're still alive. I think the power of the mind is extraordinary. And I think we don't even scratch the surface of what we can do with the power of our minds.
As jy hier aankom op hierdie plaas, op hierdie pragtige plaas, de-stress jy?
Daar's nie eens twyfel daarin nie. Jy worry altyd oor jou pasiënte. Of hulle nou goed of sleg doen, jy worry altyd oor hulle. En dis baie goed vir jou pasiënte, maar is nie baie goed vir jouself nie. So,
Raak jy emosioneel betrokke by hulle soms, of nie eintlik nie?
En hoe ouer jy word, hoe meer raak jy betrokke by die emosies van die pasiënte, jy weet. Pasiënte se families. Dit is baie moeilik. Partymal dink ou is 'n gawe wat jy net kan afsluit, jy weet, en sê dis maar jy het jou beste gedoen, maar dit raak baie moeilik as jy sien jy weet die emosies van die vrou en die ma en die pa en die kinders en almal.
Hy het 'n vreeslike goeie gevoel oor 'n pasiënt of oor 'n operasie of oor wat die uitkoms gaan wees. Hy's baie instinktief en ek dink dit is 'n groot bydra tot sy sukses.
Robbie, voor 'n groot operasie, jy trek jou handskoene aan, jy klaar geskrob. Hoe voel jy as jy deur die deure stap?
Ons het nou so 155 of so iets oorplantings gedoen. Maar elkeen wat jy doen is baie, baie intens. Hulle word nooit dieselfde nie. En die belangrike deel van 'n oorplanting is dit, jy weet, there's no room for error. So jy kan nie sê, alright, wel as ons 'n fout maak hier, so kan ons dit reg. Jy kan nie foute regmaak nie. So daar's nie plek vir foute nie. En dit is baie, baie stresvol maar ek dink jy raak so gefokus en jy werk net op adrenalien. So, partymal gaan hierdie goed aan vir 10 ure en jy word nie moeg nie. Die oomblik as jy afskakel, dan word jy moeg. So ek dink is maar net 'n kwessie van fokus, jy weet, en jou energie fokus net op daai prosedure.
Al vir eeue praat die mense van die hart as die setel van die emosies.
Snaaks, as jy aan 'n man se hart opereer, is dit 'n groot. Jy kan sê, man, maar ek moet 'n stuk van jou brein wegsny want daar's iets fout. Maar jy moenie sê ek moet 'n stuk van jou hart wegsny nie. Dis net dis seker maar kom maar met die mitologie saam en met die geskiedenis saam, maar jy moenie aan 'n man se hart vat nie. Hulle vat lank om daai besluit te neem.
Robbie, jy's die enigste dokter waarvan ek weet in Suid-Afrika wat 'n hart- en longoorplanting suksesvol gedoen het.
Ja, dit maak my nou nie spesiaal nie, is maar net dat ons dit gedoen omdat ons moes doen. En ons doen dit graag omdat ons dit moet doen. En touch wood, dit was suksesvol.
How do you protect her all the time?
You know, with her immune system being so low, suppressed obviously, we have to be careful we don't go to too many big crowds, and it becomes a risk-reward type situation that we deal with every day, and everyday menial things as well that people take for granted. be it for the movies, be it for going out to, to a club or friends or whatever it may be.
Tina,
Yeah.
I'm here with a hat. I'm taking my hat off for you, what you've done, what you've achieved. It's amazing, Tina. I'm so proud of you. Tina, tell me, what is this all about?
If you want to know what the Arnold model search is, it's a search for a fitness model. Yeah, I took a flyer. I entered a competition on a whim. I never ever thought that I would win. I won the entry, I won the training and the coaching with Hayley T-Rex. For the first time in my life, I had been gymming, and just to even be able to have the strength to lift up weights is unbelievable for me. And yeah, built some muscle for the first time ever in my life. I've learned so much about me and who I am as a person and how far I can push my body and how powerful the mind is, and yeah, what lengths you can go to achieve your goal.
The next contestant, each of these contestants are very special, but this lady specifically, by the name of Tina B, is the first heart and double lung transplant patient in South Africa, and the longest living, and the first to grace us off the stage with this. Welcome, contestant number 11, Tina B.
And not an ounce of fat.
But yeah, because my muscles are so small, we had to lose quite a lot of flesh to show off my small muscles.
I have to ask you a question. Because of many reasons, you want to know who your donor is.
I would like to, yes.
And if you have to work out a strategy to find out about your donor, how would you go about?
Well, first of all, I would contact my coordinator. I would speak to Cindy, and see if my donor family is receptive to even hearing from me or meeting me.
Have you any idea who the organ donor family might be?
I know from what I picked up that it was a misdiagnosis. That was, I thought it was an ear infection, but it was actually a aneurysm in a young girl. And yeah, luckily she had been in the Free State area where it was actually grown up in a very healthy environment. You know, the air was clean and all that sort of thing. So her organs were fantastic.
What would you do when you get there? Will you be nervous?
To meet my donor family,
Yeah.
I think I'll be in awe. I think I'll just be... I think it'll be a very, very emotional moment for me. Yeah, I think I will just be in awe of their kindness to a complete stranger, and the fact that they lost their child to give me life.
I think that person who the heart and lungs you got is very proud of you, you know?
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's my goal in life, is to make her proud.
There can be no greater gift than receiving an organ from a donor. It's a gift of life itself. The question often arises, What family has shown such incredible generosity in a time of great loss and shock? The transplant coordinators are the people who match donor organs with recipients. They hold the key to this sensitive knowledge. Cindy, I want to thank you very much again to see us today. I'm on a journey with Tina. And 8 years ago, she had a heart transplant, which was a very, very serious and a very intricate operation. And she survived it. And as we were there's only 2 people that are living at the moment with a heart and a lung transplant in South Africa. Okay. And we decided, Tina expressed the wish that she wants to go and say thank you to the people who made it possible for her to live. Now it's up to you, Tina.
Yeah, I do. I would love to go and meet them and thank them personally.
It is possible. There's just quite a bit that needs to happen around it. The family would need to be contacted. That obviously want to have to go through it, that they have to agree. It's such a tough subject because everybody's situation is different. And we have to assess each case on its merit. So the first point of contact would probably be trying to track down who was the coordinator to broach the subject. And then there would have to be counselling on both parts, on Tina's part as well as the family, as to whether it's the right thing for them.
So you will go with us on the journey?
I'd love to. I flew there that day. I don't often go unless I'm managing the donor myself. I'm normally here with the recipient, facilitating and doing the logistics on this side. I very seldom will go with the team, especially if they fly to the donor. There just might be one spoke in the wheel as to who the coordinator was that day. If I remember correctly, the coordinator was the Pretoria coordinator that was covering that region, and she had driven down, and she'd come down to help that day. It's the only spoke that there might be in the wheel. There's definitely value to families who want to make the connection, families who want to know more, purely for their own pride and comfort, and no other reason than that. Because unfortunately, historically, there has been some strange reasons for wanting to meet a recipient. Their loved one donating their organs was a hero, no doubt about it. That's the bottom line. The gift they gave cannot be measured. It's priceless. But on that day, the hospital staff who were involved in all of this, all the people that facilitated it, to the recipients, to the donor family, so much hype on the day, and then it's done. It's done for those who were left behind. The medical staff who had a patient who then went to theatre and then was no more. Sometimes they can even be a little bitter about organ donation when that's all they see. The family that had all this hype had to make this hectic decision, had to negotiate with the rest of the family members, decide, sign what organs they were going to give away, say goodbye to their loved one, and then they were done. Family gather, a funeral is held, and then they have to get back to their lives as normal. What happened? And I think a lot can be said for them meeting the recipient, because life happened after that. Something that you can't even begin to imagine. You can think, oh my gosh, my loved one's heart's beating in somebody else's chest, but then what? And then what? So where are they 8, marching down to 10 years down the line? Yeah, her life has changed incredibly, and I think it can give even more comfort, especially for those who are just left continuously wondering. It must eat away at them. It must eat away. Just like for me, if a patient doesn't survive, I think the family have a right to know. They don't continue wondering, is my loved one's heart still beating? They should be told. Have they gone on to be parents, grandparents, graduated, got married, had a life? I think it's the ultimate thank you. Thank you for an incredible gift on an incredibly hard day with a decision nobody ever wants to have to make. It's so hard, but a life happens. Yeah.
I believe in miracles. I believe God has a plan. I believe there is a plan for me, yeah.
And what is your plan?
Sure, my plan. I want to show the world the difference that a transplant can make in someone's life if you decide to donate. I want to show those people that have had transplants how normal they can be now. And I want to help. I want to help the people out there that are waiting for transplant. I've been there. I've been what they're going through. I've faced death in the eye. I've looked it in the eye. And I want to help those people.